All right, welcome back, all you lovely people. I have fixed my audio issue. I clearly forgot that it was on a completely different audio output, and when I went to go and record all my previous death battles, they were absolutely completely muted. And I sit there and I disputed things, I was talking about things, and instead I had to make a retrospective of the last three because I didn't feel it was fair that I didn't give my honest and true reaction and then just re-record and then farm off of those videos. Instead, I will leave them up as symbols of my failure and an example of myself as a better content creator. I need to basically atone for this by leaving them up. All right. So basically today I'm watching another death battle. Just a shocker, right? This one came out, and I have not seen anything from it. I have not been spoiled on anything, and I don't know much about Superboy Prime or Sentry. However, I do like the concept of Sentry in the Void. So, I'm going in completely blind. I'm going to go in hoping. And as for who I'd like to win this, honestly, I think Superboy Prime would have to win this one. That's my opinion, at least. I don't know about the Void. I don't know much about him or what his powers are, but I also don't know like how this fight would actually go because the only thing that I've heard was that like Sentry is I guess has the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns or something like that. I don't know. But without further ado, let's jump right in and let's start this death battle. Already, the pixel art looks pretty cool.
Sentry versus Superboy Prime.
These two dark supermen prove that sometimes absolute power corrupts absolutely.
He's Wiz,
Okay.
I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
All right.
One superhero stands alone at the peak
Oh,
of
gosh,
Marvel
that
Comics.
costume.
He's a brilliant scientist and friend to all, the Golden
Okay.
Guardian of Good, the Sentry.
Which makes it all the more mysterious when all of humanity forgot about him, as though he never existed in the first place.
What if the
Oh.
reason we forgot Sentry is that he wanted to be forgotten?
To save us from
I
himself.
see.
As the story goes, Robbie Reynolds was just your average, ordinary high school teen until the day
Okay.
he accidentally drank this super soldier serum.
At that
How-
moment,
how do you
Robbie
accidentally
was
drink
imbued
the
with the
super
power
soldier
of
serum?
1,000,000 exploding suns, becoming one of the strongest superheroes in existence.
Okay, so how do they just have this thing lying around? Like, how did he just get access to this? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's like, I drink this liquid that's on Earth somehow, and then now I have the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns. Are you kidding me? I mean, it took so much for them to be able to make Captain America, and he's not even on that level. Like, it took a ton of experiments and tons of things to go around. I mean, you look at Weapon X and all of their stuff and all their serums, and the only thing that they've got is like hyper regeneration, I guess you could say superior senses, but that could just be Wolverine's mutant genes going too. It's kind of hard to tell. Like, how do they just have this stuff lying around? There has to be more to that story. I'll have to check that out.
That's gotta be one hell of a bowel movement. And
Yeah, I
what better
know.
way to use his new powers than to become a Sentry to all mankind?
In a
Okay.
never-ending crusade against his devious arch-nemesis, the Void.
He's got
The
all your
Void.
classic, I can't believe he's not Kryptonian superpowers, like super
Ah.
strength, speed, durability, and flight.
He can spot you from miles away, or even hear a butterfly sneeze from across the planet.
You
That is
butterflies
crazy.
Sneeze?
No!
Well, Sentry cells absorb and process the sun's rays, and if he wants
Okay.
to, he can fire that solar energy right back at you in a powerful laser, or bend light away to turn invisible, or use it to make force fields.
Really, the Sentry
Okay,
can draw
pretty
power
cool.
from anywhere and everywhere. When he was forcibly shrunk down to subatomic size, he started pulling energy from the microverse instead. And despite being
Microverse,
microscopic, his punches were strong enough to destroy planets, even while holding back.
Sentry can teleport,
Okay.
communicate telepathically, and even read and mess with minds.
He's also a genius with a super brain comparable to Tony Stark and Reed Richards. He's even built his
Okay.
own watchtower with an advanced AI that is constantly monitoring the planet for threats.
Jesus Christ, he's like the Avengers all in one. Why do there even
Yeah.
need to be any other superheroes?
They quite literally
Indeed,
sold
the Sentry
him
is
a little
more
short.
than strong enough to take
Or
on
is
Marvel's
it a movie?
heaviest hitters, like his famous battle
forget.
with the Green Scar Hulk, where Black Bolt, Iron Man, and Doctor Strange failed. The Sentry was the only one who stood against the
Yeah.
Hulk's full power.
I did read
He's
some of the
also
comments.
battled Thor, who collapsed an infinite number of timelines into one by clashing with another Thor.
The Sentry is incredibly fast,
Okay.
too. He can bend space and speed blitz Ares, who can move within Planck time, the smallest unit of time possible in our universe.
He's stated to be
Okay.
as fast as the Heralds of Galactus, like the Silver Surfer, who once outraced the multiverse blowing up. The Surfer flew
Alright.
so fast he went back in time. So you'd think Sentry would be able to handle some
I
punk in
mean,
a
Flash
trench
can
coat.
do
But
that.
it wasn't so simple. The Void was everywhere that the Sentry wasn't.
If Sentry saved people from a burning building, Void would crash an airplane. If Sentry healed a person's broken back, Void would give someone else cancer. What an asshole!
For every good
Genuinely,
act the
this
Sentry
is
performs,
crazy.
the Void commits an evil one. Because the truth was, the Sentry and the Void were one and the same.
Bum, bum,
Yep.
plot twist. Turns out Sentry's whole origin story was a lie. Robbie Reynolds wasn't a 60s high schooler beating up bullies like some Jack Kirby comic.
In reality, Bob Reynolds was a schizophrenic meth addict who drank the Sentry serum just to get high. And the
Ah.
Void was, in reality, a malevolent godlike entity bonded to Bob that was the literal angel of death.
Yes.
Okay,
from
that
the
makes more
Bible,
sense.
With Moses and the Pharaoh and the dead firstborns. That's him, apparently.
And this being manifests as the dark side of Bob's shattered psyche, a villainous alter ego with all of his power. Too much power for any one man to handle. The only way to destroy the Void was to also destroy the Sentry.
So Bob
Okay.
did something crazy. With help from Reed's tech, he used his own psychic powers to erase himself from everyone's past, present, and future, including his own.
Warping the perception
Okay.
of reality of every single person on the planet. They would no longer remember him or even recognize anything remotely related to him. A picture of the Sentry would still technically exist, but in your mind's eye, including Bob's, it isn't there.
Great. Everyone knows
okay.
repressing your problems always makes them better.
But Bob's memories eventually clawed their way back, in part thanks to
Yep.
Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin,
Oh,
and his
good
desire
lord.
to somehow control the Void. So Norman had the Thunderbolts murder Bob's wife Lindy in order to release, the Angel of Death.
Yeah.
Oh,
try
you are
controlling
so
the kind of guy
stupid.
who can throw hands with Molecule Man, who somehow is one of the strongest beings in all of Marvel. At his peak, he's got almost complete control over the multiverse. So yeah, good luck with that one, Norm.
Molecule Man was another mentally unstable god whose power fluctuates based on their self-confidence. In a way, a sort of
Okay.
kindred spirit to Bob.
It was then that Bob discovered the true source of his own powers, his own control over molecules. Yeah, you can do that too.
The Sentry can create
Okay,
and destroy
that makes
matter on a
sense.
whim, able to rip you apart at the molecular level, or conjure an entire new reality from scratch, all with just a wave of his hand, like Dr. Manhattan.
He can also
Okay,
regenerate
that's
his body
ridiculous.
from any kind of damage, like being burnt to a skeleton or getting Dr. Manhattan himself.
As long as one single solitary atom remains, the Sentry is unkillable.
And Void's got
Okay.
all of this and more, except he doesn't hold back. He can shapeshift, create hurricanes, trap you in darkness, possess your body, and devour your soul.
With his
Yep.
infinite tendrils, the Void takes control of a victim's mind and tortures them with the memories of past traumas and nightmares.
He killed Loki. He wrecked Asgard. The Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the Inhumans, and the X-Men teaming up all at once could barely handle him. Void is one of
Okay.
the biggest bads in Marvel. Great fucking job, Norm. I'm something of a moron
Yeah.
myself.
The only way forward,
That's a
the
funny joke,
only way
okay,
for
I get
Bob to save everyone, including himself, was to do something he never imagined. let the Void in.
By refusing to
Okay.
repress his darker half anymore, Sentry and Void merged and became stronger than the sum of their parts.
One being now free
Okay.
to finally live his life without the crushing weight of self-hatred and fear.
Maybe, but this is the Void we're talking about. What if Bob just has a new puppet master who's only letting him think he's in control?
As long as the Void
Okay.
exists, it's just another revolution in that same endless cycle. It remains to be seen whether even death itself can break that wheel.
He'll be back.
Okay.
Sentry is gone, but not forgotten. He'll never be forgotten again.
Okay, pretty cool. Love it. And
Do
he
you
seems pretty
believe
cool.
a man can fly?
I mean,
Yeah, Wiz,
yeah.
within the pages of DC Comics, everyone in their irradiated six-dimensional gorilla mother can do it.
Well, what about in the real world? Not Earth 1 or Earth 2, but our own Earth. Earth Prime.
The Earth of you, me, and Clark Kent. A totally normal boy from New England who just happened to share a name with that comic book character.
Mere
that's
coincidence.
cool.
That is, until the day Clark took a leap of faith and believed he could fly.
And he did. Surprise, surprise.
Okay.
Clark was actually from the planet Krypton, which apparently exists in our universe now. Anyway, the real
Okay.
Superman, the one from all those comics he loved, showed up just in time to give him the skinny on being Superboy.
Eh.
Wait, he could have chosen me! I believe I can fly!
Bugsy, don't jump off the... Oh. Clark had all your classic Kryptonian powers. Flight, heat vision, microscopic and telescopic sight, Arctic breath. It was
Yeah.
the dream that every little boy had finally come true.
Oh, ow.
Okay.
Just in time for his universe, our universe, to be annihilated literally 1 month later in DC Comics Armageddon, the Crisis on Infinite Earths. Wiz, we're canonically dead since 1986, apparently.
Everyone he
Okay.
knew and loved gone, Clark took shelter in a pocket dimension with other cosmic refugees. Now an anachronism in DC's new, rebooted, post-crisis continuity, Clark was forced to watch as the comics landscape changed before his eyes. As stories became darker and morally
Okay.
complex, as heroes failed to be the paragons of good he saw them as in his childhood.
As someone else got to be Superboy.
Some people can't stand change, can't stand to see a world that doesn't look the way it did when they were a child. The day needed to be saved by Superboy.
so
the real
incel,
Superboy,
degenerate energy.
Superboy Prime.
So he did what any Superboy would do: punch really hard. He punched his way out of the dimension so hard, the shockwaves rippled through the universe and retconned DC Comics. Superboy was back, and he was gonna fix comic books forever. Hell yeah!
No matter how
Okay.
many fake heroes got in his way.
Oh shit! Super Chud Prime isn't just your ordinary Kryptonian. Oh no, he's pre-crisis.
As in, from before the Crisis on Infinite Earths, a time when comics were a bit more comical.
When Superman could sneeze solar systems apart or tow a
Okay.
galaxy of planets behind him
Yeah.
like it was nothing.
Or clash with another Kryptonian so hard, they generated enough power to restore an infinite number of timelines.
Get ready to hear
Okay,
that
that's
word
ridiculous.
a lot. My favorite is the time Superman flew so fast he broke the light barrier, the time barrier, and even the bonds of infinity.
That
I
is
wonder if
crazy.
these writers ever imagined this bullshit would feed nerd arguments for the next half century.
Oh, they
I'm
100%
complaining.
knew.
So I get paid.
They
Prime would
knew.
know he is a self-described power scaler's dream.
Huh. You think he's
Oh,
heard
great.
about us?
Yeah,
We've
they
all
knew
thought.
immediately.
As a Kryptonian with an ultra-dense molecular structure, he should also share many of the same resistances, like being transmuted to stone, having his atomic bonds weakened, or getting his energy drained. Kryptonians like Superman can withstand
Okay.
more esoteric attacks too. They can actively resist mental attacks by outthinking them, and their
Okay.
souls can resist being destroyed.
All thanks to
Oh,
Earth's
good
old
lord.
yellow sun fueling his cells. And unlike that post-crisis super fraud who gets weaker without sunlight, Prime's got it covered.
With a suit of armor made from the corpse of the Anti-Monitor, which constantly feeds him solar energy.
Oh,
Literally
great,
wearing
okay.
the pelt of the monster who destroyed his universe.
Good
just to be
lord.
better and stronger than Superman.
Because that's what he thinks he is. Superman with better feats and scaling. Superman, but real.
Superman, if he was a fucking idiot. Okay, sure, he has the same hyper-efficient brain that all Kryptonians have, but when it came to being a superhero, he was a violent, immature moron.
Exactly what you'd expect
Alright.
from a kid who never grew up and never learned to hold back. Instead of saving Earth's heroes, he started massacring them. And let's be real, there's a part of him that knows that editorial will just bring them all back eventually.
He's battled the Doom Patrol,
Okay.
Justice Society, Teen Titans, and 3 Flashes at once. He effortlessly murdered an alternate universe Justice League and even killed his rival, Connor Kent, the new Superboy. Even as other Kryptonians
go
grew
figure.
in power to become comparable to their pre-crisis iterations, Prime still held an advantage because he never held back.
Like the time he tore apart the
Yep.
Monarch's armor, accidentally unleashing the Big Bang in his face, destroying the
All right.
universe, and he was fine.
Or the time a Guardian of the Universe blew himself up in an attempt to stop Prime, blasting him into the multiverse atom by atom, and that only made Prime stronger.
Or the time he
Good
found a potential
Lord.
future version of himself who became a god of time. And instead of teaming up, Prime stupidly attacked him and accidentally retconned themselves both out of existence.
Which sent him
But what an idiot! Like, genuinely, this is literally Crash Out personified. Like, is that really just the whole theme of this? Is like both of these guys are just degenerate incels who can't stand anyone else? Like, is that seriously where we're going with this? I know they're ridiculously powerful, but come on. This is like literally getting, I guess you could say, like stubbing your toe in the morning and now, oh, I gotta genocide the planet now because I am inconvenienced so everyone else doesn't get to live. Like, are you serious? Somebody else gets to be Superboy. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and murder you and I'm gonna accidentally kill all the Earth's heroes while I'm at it. Great job. Retcon my own existence? Okay, cool. That's fun.
home,
Jesus.
back to his original universe, our universe. Except now everyone he knew, his parents, his girlfriend Lori, had been reading his comics. They knew what he had become, and they were terrified.
Once again, forced to watch as his heroes progressed without him. He
Yep.
pored over comic after comic, learning everything about DC,
And a little bit of Marvel.
only to discover his worst possible nightmare.
Not only would he never get to be Superman, he wasn't even a super villain that people liked. Turns out, power levels aren't everything.
So, naturally, he flew to DC headquarters and attacked the people writing his own comic.
Like some infinitely recursive meta hell.
Prime had become a whiny, petulant, reactionary fanboy.
Oh,
You think
boy.
he's the guy posting on our Reddit?
And at the peak of his violent temper tantrum, he murdered the Golden Age Superman, the original Superman. Action Comics #1, the first superhero.
Instead of restoring DC's glorious past, Prime beat it to death. He needed to change.
And that opportunity came when this alternate universe Jokerized Batman Who Laughs threatened to destroy all of
okay.
reality.
Prime was drafted to help save the day, and it turned out he was the only Superboy who could.
Remember that time Prime punched reality so hard he retconned DC Comics? Turns out that was no coincidence. Due to his
Okay.
repeated excursions across the multiverse, Prime became a space-time anomaly, and he slowly learned how to manipulate reality itself with his fists.
I guess you could call it his retcon punch.
At first, its effects were
Okay.
random, like bringing Jason Todd back to life or restoring Beast Boy's memories. But he
Well, that's
started to use
crazy.
it to rewrite continuity to fix the evil universes of the Batman Who Laughs.
Giving them and all the characters
Okay.
inside of them happy endings. In a weird way, that's what Superman has always done, right? Punch the bad guy so hard he saves the day.
Prime can punch hard enough to enter the time stream, seemingly exit the comic medium entirely, and even defeat the nigh omnipotent Darkest Knight.
Who was powerful
Okay.
enough to beat Perpetua, the goddess who created all of DC Comics, the whole shebang. And Prime hit the Darkest Knight so hard, he erased his entire evil multiverse.
A feat that
All right.
no one actually saw happen. Prime's first true act of heroism was one that he did selflessly, and it was the first step
Okay.
toward becoming a true hero.
The kind of hero that
Okay.
Superman always secretly knew he could be. A hero who could someday get his own issue #1. A hero like, well, Superman.
Maybe one day Prime
So he
will
did-
truly believe in himself, just like he once believed he could fly.
So he redeemed himself.
All
Mostly,
right,
at
the battle's about to begin, but first, Hitch calls are back. Hey, I'm Ben, the voice of Wiz.
And I'm Chad,
Okay.
the voice of Boomstick, and we're reopening matchup pitches on the Death Battle store.
This is a way to meet with Chad and I,
All
the
right,
creators
I
of
have
Death
got
Battle,
to
and
figure
pitch
out
your
what
favorite
my
matchup to us
pitch
via
would
video
be
call.
for a death
Yeah, a lot of
battle.
episodes that are being made right now are because they were pitched. But to give each pitch the time it needs, there's a limited number available. So go
Okay,
pick them up
that's
right
fair.
now before they're gone on deathbattle.gg.
That's our website. It's kind of like our own private Patreon with a bunch of extra stuff in every episode of Death Battle ever made.
And if you're
Okay, that is really cool still. What kind of death battle would I be interested in? Like something that could be very cool. Let's see. Man, this is so difficult. There is literally nothing coming to brain. The only few things that I can think of, I just can't. Let's see. Honestly, it'd probably be difficult for me to come up with any type of death battle. I am genuinely trying to think of every character possible that I can think of that could be interesting to put up against each other. Let's see. You know what? If I come up with something by the end of this death battle, I will let you guys know. But right now, my brain is absolutely blanking on me.
a website member, you get first dibs. It'll first be available to Chronicler tier, then Archivist, and so on.
Every
Okay.
purchase directly supports the show. Oh, and members also get a big store discount.
All right, let's get to this battle. But don't forget to grab your pitch on deathbattle.gg.
Alright, well, if we're going by how much I'm thinking
All
at
right,
this
the
point,
combatants are set, and we've run the
I'm gonna
data
go with
through all
Superboy
possibilities.
It's
because
time for a
I-
death battle!
oh my gosh, I genuinely don't know who to root for, but it just seemed like from what the analysis said, Superboy is just stronger.
This city won't last much longer. Quit while you're behind, kid.
And mess up a superhero crossover? No way, dork. Onomatopoeia coming right up!
Okay. Not the Daily Planet.
You're dealing with someone who has the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns!
Big
Okay.
mistake, dipwad. It's prime time.
It's what?
That was cool.
Are you kidding me? Another dark Superman fraud? Boring! It's cool when I do it.
At least he's self-aware.
Please, stop hitting me.
He'll kill you.
I'll kill you. To death.
I'll kill you to death? Yeah, horrid mistake.
It's time to play God.
Okay, well. Here comes the void. I mean, he's multiversal level,
Hey, you were
so...
joking. Definitely a crisis level threat. Luckily, so am I.
Run all you want! If Bob couldn't escape me.
What hope do you have, boy?
Ah,
Afraid of the Dark Clark? What kind of a hero are you? Remind me again, whatever happened to Lori?
okay.
It's over, Clark. There is no happy
So they
ending.
fuse.
Not for you. Not for me. Not for anyone else. In the void.
Haven't you ever read a comic book, you big freaking nerd?
Okay.
There's always a happy ending.
Come on, let's see. Wait, so where are we going? This is so meta.
You kept talking about the Sentry. Bad dream?
No idea, Lindy.
Oh.
Best sleep I've had in years.
Crisis averted.
Okay, that was very cool.
I don't think I've ever seen someone beaten to death so wholesomely before.
Let's break this down into
Okay,
three
that was
chapters.
very
Their
sweet.
strength, intelligence, and powers.
As with any flying
All right,
brick
let's
fight,
see it.
The first question you gotta answer is, who's stronger?
Prime and Sentry are naturally two of the heaviest hitters in DC and Marvel, more than
Okay,
capable of
yeah.
matching and surpassing Herald-level opponents like Superman and Thor.
Who are both
Yep.
strong enough to create and destroy an infinite number of timelines with their clashes. Just absolute
Okay.
wacky bullshit like that.
So in order
Yeah.
to pick a winner, we have to take a close look at the strongest beings they fought. Molecule Man and the Darkest Night.
Sentry
Alright.
beat the crap out of Molecule Man. But remember, Eminem's power can fluctuate a lot, and when he fought Sentry, he wasn't at his full power. So we can only
okay.
scale this so far.
But Prime overpowered the Darkest Night after the Mad Bat had absorbed the powers of both Perpetua and, what do you know, Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
Both of which alone could threaten all of DC Comics.
And unlike with Molecule Man, there's nothing to suggest the Darkest Night was holding back. In a straight
Nope.
brawl, Prime
Not even
takes
a
the
chance
edge
he was
in
holding
strength.
back.
But muscles aren't everything. Maybe Sentry could figure out a way around Prime's brawn with his intelligence.
While
Possibly.
Prime does possess a super advanced Kryptonian brain, he clearly does not use it to its full extent.
It's less that he's
nope.
dumb and more that he's a teenager and has a habit of crashing out.
The Sentry,
Yeah.
on the other hand, has been compared to Tony Stark and Reed Richards, some of the most intelligent people in all of Marvel Comics.
Sure, he mentally struggles with the whole Void thing, which sucks for him, but losing control to the Void only makes him more dangerous.
And as the Merged
Yep.
Sentry, he's operating at his peak, fully in control of his powers. In a test of wits and wills, the Sentry was the more intelligent.
Okay,
But
I can
the
understand
main question in
that.
this matchup had to do with their batshit insane powers.
With the
Yep.
Sentry's ability to reshape molecular matter and warp perception of reality to such an incredible degree, his powers seem much more versatile than Prime's.
Yeah.
Prime may be stronger, but heat vision, frost breath, and Kryptonian punches aren't going to do much in the long run against someone who can regenerate from a single atom.
Yep,
But
not even a
pre-crisis
chance.
Kryptonians have actually resisted having their molecules torn apart before, and
Yeah.
Prime should be no different. So it's not like Sentry was ever going to just Doc Manhattan him away.
Prime could still be
Yeah.
worn down. Kryptonians have incredible stamina, but we know that sustained damage will eventually knock them out or kill them.
Unless Prime could find a way around Sentry's insane regeneration, he was toast.
Luckily for Prime,
Okay.
his ability to retcon away your history and mess with your whole timeline was actually something Sentry had no specific resistance to.
Not only that, it was something he's been affected by in the past.
Like the time the Scarlet Witch rewrote all of reality during House of M. Bob's
I
continuity was
see.
rewritten like everyone else's.
Or the time Absorbing Man had the powers of a cosmic cube and warped Sentry's personal reality. Shit, Moonstone literally describes it as a reality punch.
Now, Sentry's psionic power could theoretically retcon himself from Prime's perception of reality. However,
Okay.
this feat required assistance from Reed Richards, and it's unlikely he could pull it off mid-fight.
Pre-crisis
Okay.
Kryptonians also resist a lot of mind manipulation anyway, so good luck trying.
Now,
All
Prime
right.
hasn't always had the most perfect control over his retcon punch, so he might need more than one blow to finish the job.
But Prime was more than capable of powering through Void's scariest abilities.
Like having his soul eaten or being cut off from
Okay.
sunlight. I guess that edgelord
Yeah.
solar armor came in handy after all.
In short, Prime could resist everything Sentry could throw at him, but Sentry couldn't do the same. Prime takes the final edge in powers.
All
No way
right.
to easily put him down, Prime would eventually muscle his way through and retcon the Void away for good.
Sorry, Bob. Defeat was unavoidable.
The winner is
Terrible
Superboy
pun.
Oh, hey, my pizza's here.
The winner is Superboy Prime. Let
Nice
me,
fourth
the
wall
editors.
break.
Oh yeah, I win. That's right. You hack frauds really tried to lowball me, but I checked the clock and it's prime time, baby. Now, personally, that intelligence section was such a gimme. I
What?
don't crash out. I'm a tragic hero grappling with real, intense emotion. I can be smart anytime I want.
Jeez,
But
bro,
anyway,
calm down.
Don't subscribe, don't join as a member, don't watch Death Battle, read my comics. Prime out.
Oh, good
Next
lord.
time on Death Battle.
Self-absorbent idiot. Wait. Okay, so Aang. versus Genshin. Huh. That's actually a very interesting one. I honestly had no idea. And yes, I do watch AI Presidents in my spare time every now and again. It's just fascinating entertainment sometimes. But regardless of that, this death battle was very good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed learning about these characters. I enjoyed the analysis overall. It felt like it gave me a clear answer of who was going to win, but it still had a few questions that I genuinely had when I went into the battle. Basically, I didn't understand these characters fundamentally, but at the same time, when I got to hear about their feats and hear about the ways that they could potentially, destroy the other, it made a lot more sense. I liked the battle, the animation was cool. It felt a little short, but I mean, when you're dealing with beings of this level of power, you might just have to make it a little short. It just kind of depends on which one can end the other first. But, anyways, that was a very fun death battle. It was very fun to watch, and I will be putting up more content coming this week, and I will be starting a schedule very soon where I will start recording and I will start putting up videos every week. That way, so I can at least put up one per day at the very minimum. I'm going to be putting up gameplay videos. I'll be putting up reactionary videos and maybe some not fan interactions. What am I kidding? I ain't have fans yet. Like, maybe I'll just do a couple interactions with some friends, and then maybe if somebody wants to do like a collaboration or something, maybe I'll interact. We'll see. But in the meantime, I will also say for the channel and for anyone who is wanting to subscribe, I am trying to reach 1,000. Once I reach 1,000, I will make myself a creator code, and I will be putting that up for games of Fortnite and such. Basically, because I just enjoy the new season. It's a lot of fun, and I highly recommend it. But regardless of that, once I reach 1,000, I will give the community an option. Basically, giving them an option to choose between me eating the Nitro Gummy Bear, which is essentially one of the world's hottest gummy bears, and it will. I'm not good at spicy things. I will genuinely die. Or I can make a full on cosplay of my current model of whichever one I am using, including the hair, and I'll see about maybe if I can do contacts, but we'll see. But as always, hope you all have a great rest of your day, and see you in the next one.